I'm Yumon. Welcome to Free English Grammar Class. Today, I'll be talking about past simple be. In this video, I'll be speaking in English, but for some grammar points, I'll be speaking in Burmese if it is necessary. So, let's get into the video. Okay, so past simple be. So before we get started, I want to talk about myself. Okay, so here I compared myself 5 years ago and myself right now. Okay, so myself in the present day. So let's read the sentences together. Okay, I was in Mandalay 5 years ago. I was in Mandalay, okay, 5 years ago. But now I am in Yangon. Okay, I'm currently living in Yangon. My favorite food was mohinka. Do you like mohinka? Yes, but it was my favorite food. But now my favorite food is coconut noodles. My friends were very big fan of K-drama, but I wasn't. But now I am a big fan of K-drama like my friends. The weather in Mandalay wasn't very hot when I lived there, but now the weather in Mandalay is boiling hot. Okay, so do you see the words that are highlighted in the sentences about myself 5 years ago? Yes, so we have I was, okay, my favorite food was, my friends were, I wasn't, the weather in Mandalay wasn't. So we use past simple be to talk about the events in the past. So for example, like the places in the past, like I was in Mandalay. Mandalay is the place, right? Or the time in the past, so 5 years ago, it was in the past, right? And we can also talk about yesterday, last week, last year, or even 10 minutes ago. So it's in the past. And we also use was and where together with the adjectives. Like the weather in Mandalay wasn't very hot. So hot is the adjective, right? So we can also use was and where, past simple be, to talk about the feelings and the weather, which are the adjectives. Alright? So this is just the general. Okay, so I'll be talking about the details later. Alright, now let's check out some notes about past simple be. Okay, so we use past simple be to talk about situations and states in the past. So here are the general formats of past simple be. So was, where, plus facts about the past, plus place and time, plus the adjectives. For example, cold, tired, or hot. Okay, so we will learn one format after another. Okay, so let's start with the first format, facts about the past. So we use past simple be to talk about the situations and states in the past. Okay, so past simple be တွေဖြစ်တဲ့ was နဲ့ where တွေကို အတိတ်ကအကြောင်းအရာတွေရှင်းပြတဲ့အခါမှာသုံးလို့ရတယ် Okay, so here let's check out some examples. I was at my friend's house yesterday. I, subject, was, past simple be, okay, at my friend's house yesterday, okay? And second sentence, my first house was in Mandalay. My first house, subject, okay? Again, we use was. So, subject plus past simple be, was, in Mandalay, okay, but now I'm living in Yangon. Okay, so the next one. Were your answers correct? So this is the question, right? So when we make question with past simple be, we normally start with was or where in the beginning of the question. Okay, so we write like this. Was or where in the beginning of the question plus subject Okay, and then you continue the question and ends with the question mark. All right, so don't forget to write capital letters for was and where, capital letter W, because it is the beginning of the question. Okay, and don't forget to end the question with question mark. All right, so be careful with that. So where your answer is correct? Near appearing, where, here, and subject, right? So where subject, answers correct. No, they weren't all correct. No. So when you see the question starts with past simple B, so you have to answer with yes or no. အဖြေကို yes or no နဲ့ပြန်ဖြေမယ်။ဘာလို့လဲဆိုတော့ was and were နဲ့စထားကြ။ Okay, so no, they weren't all correct. Weren't is the short form of were not. Okay, အဖြေတွေအကုန်လုံးမမှန်ခဲ့ဘူး။ Alright, so you can also take notes in your notebook for some points. Okay. Now, the next one is we use past simple be to talk about feelings. Okay, to talk about the adjectives to describe our feelings, like cold, tired, hot. All right. So let's look at some examples. It was very hot yesterday. It, subject, was, past simple be, okay, and the adjective, hot, yesterday. မနေ့ကအတော့ပူတယ် okay, and they were tired after the journey. Journey means it's a long trip, okay. Journey is equal to long trip. So they were very tired after the journey. They, subject, were, past simple be, tired, adjective. Okay. သူတို့ဒီခီးကပြန်လာတဲ့အခါမှာအရန်ပင်ပန်းနေခဲ့ကြတယ် Okay. And the train was late again. The train, subject, was, past simple be, late, adjective. Okay. And for the question, we start with was or where. We start with past simple be. Were your exams easy? The first exam was easy. Okay, subject, past simple be, an adjective, but the second one wasn't. Okay, the short form of was not. All right, so here comes the format. It is the same with the previous one. So we start with subject plus was or where plus adjective. Okay, and then you continue the sentence. So this is for the normal sentences. Okay, ပါမန်စာကြောင်းလေးဆိုရင်ဒီ format အတိုင်းပဲရေးမယ် subject လာတယ် was or where. Okay, so it depends on if the subject is singular or plural. Okay, plus the adjective. All right, and for the questions we start with was or where plus subject plus adjective, and then you continue the question ends with question mark. Okay, now let's move on to the last format. We use past simple be to talk about place and time in the past. Okay, အချိန်အတိတ်ကအချိန်တွေနေရာတွေကိုဖော်ပြဖို့အတွက် past simple be တွေဖြစ်တဲ့ was and where ကိုအသုံးပြုပါတယ် Okay, so these are some examples. So was and where plus place and time. Okay, so we were in Spain in March. So we have subject, past simple be, where, the place in Spain, and in March, time. Okay, she wasn't at home last night. She, subject, wasn't. Past simple be, but in the negative form, was not. Okay, at home, the place. Last night, the time. Okay, so this is how you describe the past events together with place and time by using was and where. You have to write in this format, okay? Place လာပြီးမှ time လာမယ် okay? So the format goes to subject plus was or where plus place and time. Okay? You can also continue the sentence if you want to. So this is for the normal sentences. တာမန်စာကြောင်းတွေအတွက် the format ကိုသုံးမယ်. What about the question? So the question format is as the same as the previous one. Okay? Question တွေလုပ်တဲ့အခါမှာလည်းခုနကသင်ခဲ့တဲ့ format တွေနဲ့အတူတူပဲ. So we usually start with the past simple be was or where. Okay, was or where and plus subject plus place and time. You continue the question, ends with question mark. Okay? So in these examples, we have normal sentences, but not the questions. So can you make one question about this sentence? So သူမမနေ့ညကအိမ်မှာမရှိခဲ့ဘူး right? So can you make the question about this sentence by using this question format? Starts with was or where. Okay, so let's do together. So she, again singular, right? She is singular now. So we start with was. So was, she, subject, and the place. Where's the place? At home. Was she at home? And the time? Last night. Question mark. Okay, was she at home last night? Very good. Now, let's check out the usage of was and where with different nouns. Okay, we have a singular noun and plural noun, right? So, if the subject is I is singular, okay? To know, right? So, we use was. And if the subject is you, we use where. You, where, okay? And if the subject is he, she, or it, these are the singular nouns, so we use was. Alright? He was, she was, or it was. And if the subject is plural noun, such as we, you, or they, we use where. Alright? We, where. You, where. They, where. Okay? And for the negative sentences, it's very simple. You just have to put not in was and where. As for the short form, we use wasn't or weren't. Alright? And for the questions, we ask was I? Okay? Was I? And were you? Was he? Was she? Or was it? And for plural noun, we use were you? Were we? Were you? Or were they? Okay, so now let's practice some lessons. Okay, we have 10 sentences here. You have to complete the sentences by using was or where. Okay, so there's one example. Today I am happy, but yesterday I was sad. You see, I, singular. So that is why we use was. Alright, so let's do number 1 together. Now, Jane is at home, but last week she blank on holiday. Jane ဒီအခုအိမ်မှာရှိနေတယ်။ဒါပေမဲ့အရင်အပတ်ကသူမပိတ်ရက်ခရီးသွားနေခဲ့တယ်။ So she, singular, right? So what shall we use? Was or where for singular? Yes, that's right. Was. She was on holiday. Okay? သူမဒီပိတ်ရက်ခရီးသွားနေခဲ့တယ်။ Alright? So can you do on your own from 2 to 10? Okay? So I will give you 3 minutes to write the answers. Okay? You read the sentences carefully and look at the subject. If the subject is singular, you have to put was. If the subject is plural, you put where in the blank. Okay? So I will give you 3 minutes to write the answers. But in this video, I'm not going to wait for 3 minutes. but you can pause the video and write the answers in your book. And then we will check the answers together. Okay? So you can start now. Alright, so now let's check the answers. Number 2. Today, it is rainy, but yesterday, it blank sunny. Okay? Yesterday, it blank sunny. So the subject, it, right? So is it singular or plural? Yes, it's singular. So what do we have to put? Was. Okay, so it was sunny. Number 3. This year, there is a jazz festival here. And last year, there blank a pop festival. Okay? ဒီနှစ်တော့ဒီနေရာမှာ jazz festival, jazz music festival ရှိတယ်။ဒါပေမဲ့အရင်နှစ်ကတော့ pop music festival ရှိနေခဲ့တယ်။ Okay? Last year, so pop music festival. Is it singular or plural? Singular. That's right. So we have to put was. Number 4. Today, Mr. Brown is at work, but yesterday he blank ill. He, singular. So we have to put was. Okay? He was ill. Number 5. These days, there are houses here, but 100 years ago, there blank trees. So trees, you see as in tree. So is it singular or plural? Yes, it is plural. So we have to put where. Okay? Number 6. Today, I feel fine, but yesterday, I blank in bed all day. I, singular, so I was. Yes. Number 7. My mother is a manageress now. So manageress means the female manager. Okay? A မျိုးသမီး manager. So my mother is a manageress now. But she blanked just a shop assistant last year. Okay? So she blanked just a shop assistant. So we have to put was, right? ကျမရဲ့အမေကအခုတော့ female manager အမျိုးသမီး manager တယောက်ဖြစ်နေပါပြီ။သို့ပေမဲ့မနှစ်ကတော့ shop assistant. Okay? ဆိုင်တစ်ဆိုင်ရဲ့အကူတယောက်ဖြစ်ခဲ့ပါတယ်။ Alright? Shop assistant. And number 8. Today is Saturday and we are at home. But yesterday we blank at school. We were. Yes, that's correct. We were. And number 9. This summer we are staying at home. But last summer we blank in Greece. So the subject we, plural now. So what do we have to put? Yes, where? We were in Greece. Okay? And number 10. Today, Tina and Jack are tired because yesterday they blank at the gym. They, plural now. So we have to put they were. They were at the gym. Okay? So I hope you got the correct answers. Okay? Now, we're going to move on to another practice. B. Mary spent last weekend in Madrid. Madrid is the capital city of Spain. Okay, so you have to ask Mary 8 questions by using was or where. Okay, and also these phrases in the brackets. Okay, so there's one example. So let's see. Your hotel good. Okay, your hotel. You have to use this as the subject. Alright, so your hotel is singular, right? So we have to use was in the question. So before we start, let's revise. How do we make the questions by using past simple be? Okay, so for past simple be questions, we start with was or where plus subject, right? And then you continue the sentence, ends with question mark. Alright, so let's do number 1 together. Okay, your room, comfortable. Your room, subject, is it singular or plural? Yes, it is singular. My room. Sorry, your room. Okay, So what do we have to use? Yes, was. Don't forget to write W in capital letter, okay? Because this is the beginning of the question. All right, so was your room comfortable? Ends with question mark. Okay, so can you do on your own from 2 to 8? Yes? All right. I will give you 5 minutes to make the questions from 2 to 8. Okay, so you read the parentheses in the brackets and use was or where to make the questions. Don't forget to write it with capital letter W in was and where. Okay, and also the question mark. Don't forget about it. All right. So as usual, you can pause the video to write the questions in your book, and then we will check the answers together. Okay? So let's start. All right. So I hope you finish. Now, let's check the answers. Number 2. The weather nice. So how do we start the question? Look at the subject, the weather. It's singular, right? So, was, and the subject, weather, the weather, yes. And then adjective, nice, question mark. So was the weather nice? ရာသီဥတုကောင်းရဲ့လား? All right. Number 3, the streets full of people. The streets. The subject is plural, right? Because you see as in streets. So what do we have to use? Was or where? Yes, where for the plural now. Okay, so where the streets, don't forget to put S, all right, full of people, question mark. လမ်းတွေမှာလူတွေပြည့်နေရဲ့လား? So which means okay, လမ်းတွေမှာလူတွေအများများရဲ့လား? Like that. Okay. Number 4, the shops expensive. The shops. So we start the question with where, okay, because the shops is the plural now. So the shops expensive. Okay, and number 5, the city exciting at night. The city. So it's the singular now. So we start with was the city. Here comes the subject, all right, and exciting at night. Question mark. Okay. So ညဘက်တွေမှာဒီမြို့ကြီးကစိတ်ဝင်စားဖို့ကောင်းရဲ့လား? All right. So was the city exciting at night? And number 6, the museums interesting. Okay. So can you make the question? It's a plural now because we see as in museum, right? So where the museums interesting. Okay, and question mark. Number 7, the people friendly. So to make the question, we'd start with where. Yes, that's right, because people is the plural now. So the people, where the people friendly. Question mark. And the last question, your flight okay. So your flight means your airplane trip, okay? So လေယာဉ်ခရီးကြောင်းကိုပြောတာ okay? လေယာဉ်ခရီးမင်းရဲ့လေယာဉ်ခရီးအဆင်ပြေရဲ့လား? All right. So your flight, it's a singular. So we start with was your flight okay? So I hope you get the correct answers. Now we're going to do exercise C. Okay? So before we do this, let's read the question together. Okay? George and Sally have been married for 50 years. So if they are married for 50 years, like are they young people or old people right now? Yes, of course, they are old people. Old people, they are quite forgetful, aren't they? So အသက်ကြီးတဲ့လူတွေကမေ့တတ်တယ် right? So they are talking about their first house. Use wasn't or weren't with George's word. Okay? George သို့မဟုတ် Sally ပြောခဲ့တဲ့ပထမစာကြောင်းကိုဒုတိယစာကြောင်းမှာပြန်ညင်းမယ် Okay? And was and use was or were with one word from the box to complete the conversation. Alright? Now, let's look at the example. Okay? George said the house was warm. Ainga retweeted. Okay? But Sally said, no, it wasn't warm. It was cold. Okay? Ainga retweeted. Ainga niyara ere. Okay? It was cold. So, you have to say the negative sentence. Okay? ပထမစာကြောင်းကိုပြန်ညင်းမယ် Alright? No, it wasn't warm. It wasn't warm, comma, it was cold. So you write the opposite word of warm. So find that word in the box. So yes, we have cold here. Okay? It was cold. See? It's very simple. Alright? So let's do number 1 together. George said the garden was small. Okay? ပန်းခြံကတသေးလေးဖြစ်ခဲ့တယ် Alright? In their first house. But Sally said, no, it. Okay, so we have to write the opposite word from the first sentence. So how do we write? No, it wasn't small. Yes. And the sentence isn't completed yet. You put comma. And okay, so you have to write the opposite one. It was. Okay, so what is the opposite of small? Yes, it's big. So you can see big in the box. Okay, so you cross it out after using it. So, ပြန်ရေးမယ်ဆိုရင် no, it wasn't small, comma, it was big. Okay? So can you do number 2 to 6 on your own? Yes, so I will give you 5 minutes to write the answers. Okay? You can pause the video and write the answers in your notebook. You can start now. Alright. Are you done? Okay, so let's check the answers. So Sally said the neighbors were French. So, အိမ်နီးနားချင်းတွေကပြင်သစ်လူမျိုးတွေဖြစ်ခဲ့တယ်. But George said no. Okay? We have to write the negative sentence. ပြန်ညင်းမယ်. Okay, so how do we write? So no, they weren't. They weren't French. Okay, comma. So if they weren't French, who were they? Okay, find the word in the box. ပြင်သစ်လူမျိုးတွေမဟုတ်ဘူးဆိုရင်သူတို့ကဘယ်သူတွေလဲ? Italian. Yes, Italy လူမျိုးတွေဖြစ်ခဲ့တယ်. So, no, they weren't French, comma. They were Italians. Yes. And number 3. George said the living room was red. Okay? အဲကန်းကအနီရောင်ဖြစ်ခဲ့တယ်. But Sally said no. It wasn't red, comma. And what is the another word? Okay, so if the room wasn't red, အနီရောင်မဟုတ်ဘူးဆိုရင်ဘာရောင်ဖြစ်မလဲ? Yes. So it was green. So you cross out the green in the box. Okay? And number 4. Our first chairs were expensive. But George said, no, they. So, ပြန်ရေးမယ်ဆိုရင် no, they weren't. Yes. Comma. So, the chairs, plural now, right? So, they were cheap. Okay, so we use cheap. And then number 5. George said the kitchen was old. But Sally said, no, it wasn't old. Okay, comma. So what's the opposite of old? Yes, it was new. And number 6, George said the local shops were good. Sally said, no, they weren't. No, they weren't good. Okay, comma. So what's the opposite of good? Could the opposite be bad? Yes. So no, they were bad. Okay, so let's check out the homework. Okay, you have to compare yourself 5 years ago and now, like I did before. I hope you still remember that at the beginning of today's lesson, I talked about myself. I compared myself 5 years ago and now. Okay, you have to use past simple be to talk about the differences. Okay, you can check out my sentences as for the examples. Okay, but I want you to write in your own words and sentences without copying these. So this is the end of this video, and I hope you learned something from today's lessons. And we will be doing more videos for a free English grammar course, so make sure that you like this video and subscribe our channel. So see you again in the next video.